Divine timing right now. I want to get right to the point. First off, I want to say this. Every single day, every hour, every minute, and I'm not over exaggerating when I say every second is an opportunity for you to step into your greatness. Every moment is an opportunity for you to become who you truly are. Forget about good and bad. Those are tools. Those are ways for you to gauge where you are on your journey. If things feel good, you're going the right direction. If things feel bad, you need to use that information to propel you the direction that you want to go. For example, easiest one in the book. I put my hand in fire. Obviously it hurts. I'm going to take my hand out. If I say rude things to people, obviously that's disrespectful. At least for me, that doesn't make me feel good. So that makes me pivot, right? That makes me change my direction. But aside from that, what I really wanted to talk about today, and I appreciate those of you that have been rocking with me on this channel. And despite all of the, for lack of better words, turmoil, we're sourced. We're sourced now. That's the best way I can say it right now. But let's just get to the topic. Today marks the 14th day. It's been 2 weeks since I've stopped smoking weed. And let me tell you, growing up, this lighting's crazy, but just the light is always with me. Growing up, especially as I was in school, high school, straight edge, right? As they say. In other words, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink. And a lot of the times, especially in this society, that's what a lot of people do. Or that's when a lot of people start to get into that stuff, just because a lot of outside influences. So fast forward to now, it's been 10 years to where I have been constantly smoking marijuana, okay? Smoking weed. And I think there was one point where I took 28 days off. That was in 2013 or 2014. But what I was doing, I was in a relationship and I was influenced to drink. And that was my decision. That was nobody else's decision. But as I continued to grow, 2013, 2014, all the way to 2020, 2021, for the last 2 or 3 years, I would always have this little voice in my head. Your higher self, your conscious, God, all the above. And I could hear this voice projecting to me that this isn't you. This isn't you. This is what you're doing right now, but ultimately, this is not you. And I have a lot of brothers. Actually, I have a few brothers that I have spoken about this too. But fast forward to now. For the last month, it's really the spiritual journey, in other words, life, has really been taken off to the point where it's like once you open Pandora's box, there's no going back. Once you start to explore and fall down that rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland, I'm about to order that book because that sounds like a good read. It doesn't stop. So as you continue to listen to source within you, it's inevitable that you have to go with the path of least resistance. I had no choice. I didn't even make the choice to stop smoking weed. The choice was already made for me. And I know some of you are like, what do you mean? Obviously you made that choice. Of course I made the choice, but it got to a point where, first off, I was only smoking at the end of the day. And that's typically when I would smoke. A lot of people claim that they need to smoke in order to go to bed and whatnot and to relax. But for some reason, those reasons did not sit well with me. They didn't sit well with me. So a couple weeks ago, I stopped smoking one night, and for me, I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely a challenging task for me to do, just because I had been so used to doing it, right? A habit is just an action that you continue to do. That's all a habit is. So since I continued to smoke marijuana, weed, it was really easy for me to slip back into that, right? Just because it's a habit. So a little over 2 weeks ago, it was a Friday, I didn't smoke. I woke up that morning, I was so proud of myself. And mind you, there was probably in this 10-year span of smoking weed, there was probably, aside from that 28 days in 2013 and 14, there was about maybe 2 to 3 other times where I had stopped smoking for 4 days. Just recently this year, I took a trip to Arizona. I stopped smoking for 4 days because I didn't have weed. But something started to shine within me as far as enlightenment when it comes to the topic of me and marijuana. And it's really important that I get this message out, because although everybody does not have this same dilemma, everybody does not have the same path, there are ways that you can still use this and apply it to your situation. So I'm just walking in the street right now, guys. I'm just walking in the street in the neighborhood. Who cares, right? So fast forward to now. Like I said, a little over 2 weeks ago, Friday night, I stopped smoking. I was done. Saturday, the next day, it was a Saturday night. I was planning on going out. I would say I had a friend, but I had a brother here in town. You know who you are. And we were planning on going out that night, which we didn't. And again, mind you, I'm excited about this. I'm excited to stop smoking because I'm excited to be who I truly am. I'm excited to be Michael Young, forever young. And I was telling myself that, man, I can't wait to see who I truly am, because from high school all the way through at the end of high school, when high school was over, all the way through college, all the way through, almost all my 20s, I have been smoking. And in a sense, for lack of better ways, there's a way better way to explain this, but I'm not going to overthink right now. I was, in a sense, masking who I truly was. I was hindering myself, right? I was hindering myself. I wasn't letting myself be truly who I am. And I knew that deep down inside. Sometimes I would try to convince myself, Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, all these people smoke and they're very successful. Why can't I? But again, I was applying somebody else's path to mine. And this isn't to shame anybody that smokes. This isn't to hate anybody that does. You do what you do. You know what works for you. You know what doesn't. But that Saturday night, I didn't end up going out. And what I ended up doing was smoking. As soon as I smoked, I knew it, because I had not smoked the day before. So I was already one day in the hole. And for me, it's about the first 3-4 days to a week where I know it's going to be a challenge, and we'll get back to that. Why do I think it's going to be a challenge? It's because I said it's going to be a challenge. So it really helps when you rewire the way that you look at things. Instead of saying it's going to be a challenge, why look at it like that instead of looking at it like, this is going to be great for me? It's like starting a diet. It's like starting a fitness journey. It's the same thing. So instead of thinking, I'm going to stop smoking weed and it's going to be challenging, I thought it like, I'm going to stop smoking weed and I can truly fly now. I can truly become who I want to be. So that night, that Saturday night that I didn't end up going out after not smoking for 1.5 days, ended up smoking. Right there, I knew that wasn't my path. But again, one of the biggest things, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to be, one, nice to yourself all the time, give yourself the benefit of the doubt all the time, and two, to be your best friend. Come on, you know what, Mike? It's okay. It's okay. You could still, hey, it's all right. Don't worry about it. This is our path now, to accept what you're going through is a powerful, powerful tool, because if you can accept what you're going through, then that will be the caveat that propels you to move through it. I promise you. So that Saturday, I smoked. That Sunday, I also smoked. Mind you, this is 2 weeks ago from today. So not last Monday, but the Monday before, I woke up, work, as far as the 3D matrix work. You guys know I clean carpet. I didn't smoke. And it felt so good again to get back to who I truly am, right? You think of like a light switch flickering on and off. That's the best way I can describe it, because sometimes, shout out to Aaliyah, sometimes you're gonna fall, but what you have to do is just get back up. Sometimes when you jump out of the nest, you may not catch flight right away, but I promise you, if you believe in yourself and if you're your best friend, you're gonna fly. You are gonna fly. So that Monday came, bam, I didn't smoke, right? So fast forward to now, it's been 2 weeks, and I know for a fact, and before I used to be intimidated to say this because I didn't want to jinx myself, but that was another imbalance that I had in my mind that I had to rewire. There's no jinxing myself unless I think I'm gonna jinx myself. This is a paradox within a paradox in this world. This life is a game, and I'm gonna be here to show you my journey in hopes that you are able to play this game to your, not best potential, but to your happiest, to your fullest. So now fast forward 2 weeks. Actually, rewind 10 days. By the time I was 2-3 days without smoking, I already knew I was locked in. I'm into my true self. And this is what I really want to get to, guys. Ever since that decision, ever since these last 2 weeks have happened, I want you to see me here. My life has not only changed, I live in a movie. I live in a movie every moment and every day. I am sourced. I'm gonna go one further. I am source. And I know this for a fact now. In these last 2 weeks, there have been things, not just one or two things, countless situations, countless moments in my day where I have not only felt that source within me, but I see it everywhere. I'm in a whole new world now. I'm in a whole new world now. So, now that I have this true self, now that I'm locked in, tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, now I'm able to think through source. Now I'm able to walk through source. Now I'm able to talk through source. Right now, this is source talking. This is forever talking. And as I continue to walk this path, I know for a fact that this is my path, that if I ever smoke weed again, I'm getting to the point where I don't even want to drink alcohol. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's not even a decision that I make. It's my higher counsel. It's the higher counsel, source, flowing through me. Whatever, like I said in the beginning of the video, whatever you are going through, whatever is going on right now in your life, whether good or bad, that is the seed, that is the breadcrumb to lead you into who you truly are becoming, because we're always becoming. We're always becoming. So, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I think that it's important to be authentic to yourself. I think that it's important to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, you know what's right for you. You know what is going to help you. You know what is going to propel you. Most of all, you know what's going to make you joyful, happy, in terms connecting you to source. This is all we're doing here. And I had a point that I wanted to say, and it kind of flew by. but I wanted to throw that out there. Maybe it'll fly back in. But my life has changed, and I understand it all. I understand that I am going to continue to understand it all. So I want to let everybody know that words cannot describe how much I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Of course, the ones that are truly there, interacting, commenting, liking, showing me unconditional love and appreciation, but also everyone else. When it's all said and done, every moment is an opportunity to step into your greatness, to step into your true self, your God self, because that's what you all are. That's what I am. And if this video can help anybody, then we're doing our job. See, and now this brings me to another point. People are gonna tug. You're gonna notice as soon as you start to, whether it be stopping smoking, doesn't matter. As soon as you start to make these changes for yourself, it's gonna feel a little different at first, right? Because not only are you stopping what you have been doing, but now you can't stop smoking. What you need to do, for example, is you need to do something else. Not necessarily replace it, but change direction and do something else. And getting to this point, somebody just pulled up by me. Now, I have love for everybody, okay? But there's certain times that you need to lock in, and you need to disassociate yourself from people who are not on your path, who are not promoting what you promote, who are not, in a sense, there yet. In conclusion, I just want to say that I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. Things are happening in my life that are not only giving me confirmation of what is going on. I mean, I don't want to go down the list because we'd be here all day. But I promise you, if you trust yourself, if you trust inside, you don't need to go look at tarot, right? I was looking at tarot for a little bit, and I noticed as soon as it got to be, why am I looking at this so much? It got to a point where I was looking at it. See right there, that person is a great person, but sometimes, a lot of people just come into conversation and they just throw out whatever they want to say. They say whatever they want to say. Oh, my day's hard, da 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 da. And then, they expect you to feel sorry, or they expect you to cater to them. That's not what this is about anymore. Unless you know that when you give out energy, unless you know that this person is actually going to get it, there's no need to give out energy. There's no need to give it out. But it'll seem like you're burning bridges. It'll seem like you're hurting people's feelings, or it'll seem like you're ending relationships. But I promise you, when you stand in your when you stand in your light, when you stand in your true self, no matter what you do, whether you cut people off, it doesn't matter. Those people are still gonna love you. And if they don't, then we know who they really are. My neighbor just drove by me, and she's high energy. She just kind of does whatever she does, you know what I'm saying? So she just pulled up right by me just about 4 minutes ago. I looked at her, she was looking at me. I just told her to keep going. I said, you saw it, you kind of saw it. I said, go. And she looked at me like this, like, what, dude? I was like, yeah, go. And I know that was maybe caught her off guard a little bit. But then, ironically, she just drove back around. And I just threw up the peace sign. And she looked at me, and I could tell that she understood what was going on. So don't be hesitant to place yourself. I was going to say cut people out. You could say cut people out if you want, but don't be hesitant to place yourself in a position where you can grow. You plant a plant in shitty soil, it's not going to grow. So what do you need to do? You need to move, and you need to find fresh soil, a better environment for you to plant yourself into so you can grow. I've done this before. Look at everything. Abundance is all around us. How does my hair grow? You know, that's because we are full of abundance. There's no lack of anything on this planet. That's just a mindset. That's just a mindset. So again, I want to encourage anybody out there that is trying to figure out who they are. I want to encourage you to really trust yourself, really trust your heart, really trust your guidance. And let me get to this, and then we'll be done. Well, actually, we're just getting started, but for this video, we'll be done. I remember I was really gravitating towards tarot to the point where I got a couple tarot decks, where I started reading cards, not necessarily for myself, but I wanted to maybe implement that into this channel, implement that and maybe help people out with that, right? It got to the point where I got a whole bunch of astrology books. I almost finished one astrology book, Astrology, the Book of Something. Beautiful monarch butterflies just flying all around here right now. It's beautiful. Yellow and black, beautiful. You can't see it because it's so tiny. Actually, it's a big one. I got to the point where numerology is a different story because numbers, to me, still resonate. But it got to the point where astrology and tarot were confining me. Almost like the Matrix, almost like a job. Because although, yes, the planets maybe do have some type of influence, although that tarot maybe does have some type of influence and can give you some type of insight, although religion, although all of these different things on this planet can give you some type of insight, nothing, you guys know what I'm about to say, nothing is better than going within. I meditate daily. You asked me a year ago, yeah, I meditate once in a while. It went from meditating Monday through Friday in the morning to Saturday. Now I meditate daily, every single day, because there's only one way to actually find out who you truly are. There's only one way to actually truly connect to source, and it's to quiet your mind. It's to quiet your mind, and it's to focus on your breathing. Spirit means breath. I'm going to throw that out there. Spirit means breath. So when you focus on that breathing and you trust and you follow your natural breath, that connects you right to source. That connects you right to source. But when was this? 2-3 nights ago, I just now, a couple days ago, and again, mind you, since I've stopped distracting myself with things like marijuana, crown chakra, pineal, whatever you want, everything's going. And one night, some nights, you know, now my sleep schedule is perfect. Now my sleep schedule is beautiful. I'm sleeping deeper and deeper. I'm having dreams though. I'm having some dreams, right? I'm having some awesome dreams, okay? But one night, I didn't fall asleep till later. And I was scrolling through TikTok, which I rarely do, which I'm starting to rarely do. And one night, I scrolled across a TikTok, and somebody was talking about how astrology is a man-made concept, and started pointing out other things about astrology which made me think. And I looked up on YouTube, is astrology real? Or something along those lines. And shout out to this, I'm not gonna say names, but shout out to this guru, but he made it very clear. If you were to know what is gonna happen tomorrow, you wouldn't be living in today. You wouldn't be living in now. What's the point of living today if you already are anticipating tomorrow? So when it comes to astrology, when it comes to tarot, those things may be helpful at first, but you're gonna become to realize that those are just confinements. Those are just confinements, right? That dictate what you're gonna do. At the end of the day, nobody can tell you what is going on, what is gonna happen in your life, except you. And as you begin to understand this, you're gonna really see that this isn't only true, but your mind is a garden. Every moment is an opportunity for a seed to get planted. If I'm looking at TikTok, I'm scrolling through until I see something that is going to be helpful for my soul. And again, I'm not like, oh, I'm not out there trying to do it. This is just natural. It becomes natural. It becomes natural that you want to surround yourself with people, things, ideas, events that are fulfilling to you and your higher self, which is you, God. So, middle of the night, I was like, wow, I'm done with astrology. I'm done with it all. Matter of fact, what I said is, I've mastered astrology. I've mastered tarot. I've mastered numerology. I'm a master at all that. So since now I am a master at all that, it is time for me to go within now, because I don't need anything else besides everything here and here. That's it. So, like I said, these tools, including marijuana, including alcohol, including tarot, whatever, astrology, these are tools. These are tools to help you figure out who you truly are. But once you figure that out, and once you start going within, like I said, you'll come to find that you don't need anything anymore. All you need is yourself, pure positive belief, stepping into your greatness every moment. That is all this is. I'll leave you with this. If you believe in yourself, no matter how the cards, no matter how life looks, how you look, if you believe in yourself and love yourself, that's the two things. I watched The Matrix the other day. This is it. There was two things that I got from The Matrix. My favorite movie of all time. The first Matrix. First of all, Neo was trying to figure out if he was the one, blah, 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 blah. The Oracle gave him advice and ended up saying that he wasn't the one. Sorry, maybe you're waiting for your next life. He's like, all right. But she said something else, that Morpheus, which is his mentor, so to speak, is going to risk his life for you because he believes in you. And you're gonna have to make a decision whether you save him and risk your life or you don't. That time came for Neo. And he had, that time came for Neo. And you know what happened? He chose to believe in himself for the greater good, for all, for Morpheus. And he didn't care what the circumstances were. But he said, I don't care. I'm going for it, and I'm not going to stop. Mind you, the whole movie, Morpheus is planting seeds into Neo's head, saying that you won't have to run away from agents. You won't have to run away from negativity or danger when you know you're the one. You won't have to dodge bullets when you know you're the one. So the one thing out of the two that I learned was you have to step into your greatness. And once you step into that greatness, life conforms to you. Every step, every moment, life conforms to you. And the second thing that I learned from that video, that movie, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but love is the strongest, most unstoppable force, most unstoppable energy that exists on this planet. And when you pair the two together, that greatness that you know who you are, when you step into that greatness, when you know that you are source, God, and you believe that, and you trust and you have faith in yourself because you know that that is the path. And when you pair that with love of life, the world is yours. Feel free to share this. Share it everywhere. Feel free to like. I'm not going to come on here and ask you guys to do anything because I don't really care to hear people like this, subscribe. Feel free to do what you like. But I wish you all love, light, and abundance. And I know you all are great. I know you all are gods. It's time for you to know. I love you all. Forever out.